All right, so let's get started. So today is the module three, the basics of personal branding. In the previous two modules, we understood what the content creation is, what type of content you can create. Today, we'll talk about the personal branding. Okay, so you see, personal branding is what the world sees you about you, especially online. After COVID, even the jobs, everything has become online. So interviews are also being taken online. So there has to be something that represents you in the online world uh, that tells you about yourself, right? It's not just about what you are posting, but it's also about the style that you are using, the values that you are showing, and the skills that you are demonstrating. Now, when you say style that you use, it could be the colors, it could be the fonts, it could be the tone of the voice that you're using. When I say the values that you are showing, it could be kindness, honesty, creativity, likewise. And the skills that you're demonstrating, it could be around drawing, it could be around coding, it could be around storytelling, sports, cooking, whatever it is, right? Now, your personal branding is your personality that is shown online. So it includes your posts, your photos, the captions, and it basically reflects who you are. For example, if you love the sports, you will share the tips and the match highlights. If you love the books, you will share the reviews and the favorite quotes. If you love cooking, you'll share the quick recipes and alternate recipes. Second thing is this personal branding is built over time. You cannot create it uh, in a nick of time. It takes time to project yourself as a person on a personal branding channel. So just like your favorite characters, people get to you know better as they follow you and your posts very regularly, right? Each post is actually consolidating the image that you want to project, right? Lastly, the personal branding is like the digital signature. Just like it is very unique to you, just like your handwriting. Two people can post the topic on the same topic, they can put their own post, but you will have your own style reflected in whatever you are posting. The other person will post it in its own style, right? You can think of the personal branding as your digital fingerprints. Just like no two fingerprints are alike, no two personal brands are exactly the same, right? um, over the YouTube channels, the social media channels, you might see a tech-savvy student shown projecting himself as the gadget guru, right? That is the personal brand that student is projecting. Or an art-loving student might be saying, "I'm the doodle queen." That's the image or the personality the person is projected, right? A nature lover may project himself or herself as the eco-hero, right? So all of these are the personal brandings. The name that you use, the style that you use, what type of post you are putting, all those things becomes the part of your brand itself. Okay. Now we are talking about personal branding, but why should we care about the personal branding? There are four reasons why you should be focusing on personal branding. First, it builds the trust with the others. They'll see you as a genuine person. They'll see you as a consistent person. They'll start trusting you, right? When people follow you, they follow your posts, they automatically believe that you are reliable. That is why they are following you, your business, your post, whatever it is, right? If you behave uh, politely online, people feel that it's safe to engage with this person, right? For example, if you're a tech blogger and you always give the honest reviews, people will believe your opinion next time too as well. For example, right now, the geopolitical tensions going on, Trump has put out his image as a person who cannot be relied because he will make a statement in the morning and he'll reverse the statement by the end of the day, right? That is also personal branding. That is how he's projecting to the rest of the world, and that is how the rest of the world is consuming him as well. They know he has made a statement. There is no guarantee that this statement holds true by the end of the day, right? The second reason you should care about the personal branding is it helps the people remember you. Just now I spoke about Trump. Likewise, whatever you are projecting, people will remember you like that only, right? A strong personal brand always make you stand out in the crowd, right? You will have your own style, you will have your own color themes, you will have your own way of speaking. That will become your signature. Okay. Then, even if the person forgets your name, they will remember you like this. Oh, this the guy who used to, share the cooking recipes. Oh, he's the guy who used to do the cool do-it-yourself experiments. Think of a YouTuber who always starts a video with a special greeting. You will remember them instantly, right? The third reason why you should care about personal branding is it will open up the new opportunities for you, right? When people like your online presence, they might invite you to collaborate, participate in the events, or even join the competitions, right? You can get the offers to showcase your skills on the prices, or maybe even, start selling something online. For example, imagine a 15-year-old guy who posts art reels started getting the commission from the followers to paint custom portraits. And we have seen so many success stories who started online and they projected a very strong image and they started doing fantastic work. The last reason why you should care about the personal branding is your content should feel more authentic, right? When you build a brand around your real personality, it feels more than human. It doesn't look like a fake one or a copy paste content, right? If you look at the successful YouTubers, or for that matter, any of the vloggers, they always prefer the genuine content out there rather than copying. Although you will see this in the reels, etc. If a trend starts, everyone starts to create that kind of reels. But viewers prefer the genuine creators who share their own ideas and not just the trends, right? For example, your favorite YouTuber, he might stand out not because of using the expensive gadgets, but because their video feels like they are directly talking to you. That is one of the ways that you connect with your audience or your users, right? Remember, the personal branding is not just about looking good online, but it's also about being trustworthy, memorable, and real so that people want to follow your journey. Okay. Any questions so far? Vedika, Vishakha?
No, sir.
Okay. When you put out about yourself to the world, the first thing they see is your online profile. The same thing happens in the career field as well. When you step into the career field and you send out your resume for a job, or you send out a note to someone saying, hey, I am needing this help, people will automatically go to your online profile. And that is the first thing they will see about you, right? Even before talking or making a connection with you. That is why a good first impression is very, very important because it will build a trust, it will make the people curious about you, and it will help them remember you. And how you can do this thing? One, use your clear profile photo. People should see whom am I talking to, right? Sometimes you prefer to put some cartoons, you put some other vague picture, but again, people don't know whom they are talking to. If you put your picture and preferably a smiling one, people will always remember you. Choose a well-lit photo where your face is clearly visible, right? A smile will make you appear approachable and confident. You should avoid any blurry, any dark photo, any distracting backgrounds. And if it is for the business idea, you can use a simple logo instead of your face, right? That is also a branding for the business, right? Second is you should pick a consistent username, something that is simple, that is memorable, and it is easy to spell, right? If I talk about our NGO, Swavalamban Evam Swabhimaan Foundation, looks very difficult and very long for people to remember. So we made the username as SAS Foundation, SAS Foundation, right? When you're creating a username, be it on YouTube, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, wherever you are, avoid too many numbers into that or the symbols that will make it hard to find you. It should be simple, but it should be something unique. Okay. And if possible, try to have the same username across all the platforms so that people recognize you easily. This is important because if people are following your business or your brand, they would want to remember the same thing everywhere rather than, okay, this was business one here, it was business two there, it was business three there. Instead, if they know it is business one, they will find this with business one everywhere, right? Now, quick ways how you can make the consistent username is if your real name is very common, right? For example, my name is Nitin, so everyone, I mean, you will find so many Nitins there. You can add something that is related to your niche, right? For example, a girl named Ananya and she is good at cooking. She can put the username as Ananya Cooks. Or if there is a techie a student named Aryan, so we can put his name, username as Tech Kid Aryan, right? Instead of having Aryan underscore XYZ 6798, something like that. Right? Nobody is going to remember that difficult username. Third thing is, okay, image you have put in, a good photo, clear photo, then you have chosen a good username. Then you need to put a brief bio. In the previous two exercise as well, we did the same thing. You chose a business's name and then you wrote a short bio, 2 or 3 lines explaining who you are, what you're doing, and why somebody should follow you. Just few lines. And same thing, their engaging bio should be there in the online presence as well. You should keep it short. Best is 2, 3 sentences, and if possible, 3, 4 bullet points. That should include your passion or your niche. You can add something fun or unique to make you memorable, and you can also use emojis to make it visually appealing. For example, uh, one of the tips is the bio formula. You start with who you are, then you add what you share or do, and then you add a fun fact or a motto. For example, a bio could be read like this: tech enthusiast. Okay, who you are, tech enthusiast. What you share or do, sharing coding tips for the beginners. Okay, then add the fun fact or the motto that bookworm, read, learn, repeat. Right. So that is how you can create a short, engaging bios. Then the fourth thing is you should use the same style across all the platforms. Okay. Taking example of SAS Foundation, you will find the similar thing across all the channels. You go to LinkedIn, you will see what we are posting, how we are posting, what color schemes we are using. You go to WhatsApp channel, you would find the same thing. You go to YouTube, you will find the same thing. You go to Insta, you will find the same thing. You go to Facebook, you get the same thing. You should use the same profile photo, colors, the tone of writing everywhere because that is something that you're projecting out to the world. It will help the followers instantly recognize your posts. Your style can be formal, it can be friendly, it can be creative, but it has to be consistent. You have to decide what is that you want to project and keep it consistent. Okay. For example, if your posts are colorful and fun on Instagram, you can keep that energy on YouTube and blog content too. For example, one YouTuber uses pastel pink and white colors in the thumbnail, right? You should use the same color theme on the Insta post as well, Facebook post as well, etc. Okay. Now let's do something quickly. Now look at your current profile picture. I mean, you can do this offline. Check the profile picture across all the channels wherever you are. I mean, not as a business, but as a person, right? Look at those pictures and see, does it show your personality and brand? Then you can search your name online and look at all the profiles. Do you think the profiles are looking connected? If not, then you can rewrite your bio in the way that makes the people want to click follow on your um, YouTube channel or the Facebook or Insta or whichever social media channel you are using. Okay, so keep the clear photo, consistent, short, easy, memorable username, a short, engaging bio, the formula that I gave you, who you are, what you share, and fun fact. Then use the same style across all the platforms, and then rewrite your bio in such a way that people would want to follow you. Okay. Any questions so far, Vedika, Vishakha?
No, sir.
All right.
No, sir.
Okay, great. Now, your style is like your signature, as we saw, digital signature, right? It helps people remember your work instantly. So, what color you're using, what font you're using, what tone you're using will tell a story about you and your business, right? Whenever they are following you and they see, they should say, "Oh, that looks like something you made." People start attaching um, visual identity to you. Now, how you can do this? You can pick two or three favorite colors, right? Now, why you have to focus on colors? Because colors will set the mood for your brand. Okay. For example, if you want to project bright and fun, you can choose yellow, pink, and white, which is good for cheerful personality or fit-friendly content. If you want to project yourself as calm and trustworthy, it could be combinations of blue, white, and light gray, which is good for education or tech-related pages. Or you could, if you want to project yourself as creative and bold, you can use purple, black, gold, and then which is good for art, fashion, or the motivational pages, right? Again, use the same colors for your profile picture, background, post borders, and the text and highlights, etc. Again, taking the example from SAS Foundation, you can see we have chosen four colors in our logo: orange, blue, green, and yellow. Each color projects something. Okay. One is connecting to the youth, other is showing the hopefulness, it is showing the growth, it is showing the cheerfulness. Okay. So this was about the color. And then on your page, on your post, you have to choose a font, right? So choosing a right font or a font style is very important because it gives the personality to your words, right? And you can look at these by changing the font in the Word document. I mean, you write a bio in a particular font, you write your same bio in a different font, and then in the third font, and see how do you perceive yourself by just reading and looking at the font. For example, if you want to project yourself as playful, you should use rounded, bubbly fonts, which is good for kids' activities and the fun tips. And you can relate to this to the books as well. When you pick up the books for kids, you will see what kind of fonts are being used because that relates to that kind of an audience. If you want yourself to be projected as elegant, use cursive or the serif fonts, which is good for art, baking, fashion brands, etc. Again, watch out for those things in the ads that you see, their web pages, what kind of fonts they're using. Anything that is elegant will always have cursive or serif fonts. If you want to project yourself as modern, use the sans serif fonts, which is good for tech education, minimal style, and all of that. Okay. Now, for your brand, what you should do, you should stick to one main font that you want to use, and you can have one accent font for the variety, but avoid mixing too many because that will again be associated with your branding of the business, the personal branding of the business. Okay. So you saw color, you saw the font, and then comes the setting up of the tone. Now, why tone is important? Your tone gives the voice of your brand, although you are not speaking, or you may be speaking through videos or audios on the social media channel. But when you put out in the text format as well, people are hearing these voices when they read the content in their mind, right? So, such voice is there in the forms of captions, the videos, how you interact, the comments, response to the comments, and all other things. What are some of the examples of tone? One, it could be friendly. You always start with, say, hey friends, guess what I learned today, right? Or it could be a creative tone, is saying, turning the old notebooks into beautiful planners. Here's how you can do. Or it could be funny, and it could be when your cake rises perfectly and then collapses, like my weekend plans. So many people do this thing, and you would see this on the YouTube channels. You could see these on the news as well, and some of the programs that you see on the TV. Some of the blog posts that people put out, they have their own style, the own tone that they project when they are writing something or putting a blog or putting any content out there. The other could be professional, which is very professional. In today's blog, we are going to cover three strategies for better study habits, etc., which is very much focused on what is that I am going to talk about. Again, pick one tone and keep it consistent. It will build your unique personalities that your followers will remember about. Okay. Now, what you could do, combine the colors, fonts, and the tone to create a style that is 100% you. And always ask, does this match my brand vibe before you post anything? Always do this check. And consistency will make you look more professional, even if you're just starting it out. With time, you will start projecting that brand out there. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Vishaka, Vedika? Okay. Okay. Then consistency. We have been talking about consistency for quite some time. Use the same color, use the same font, use this, use that, but it has to be consistent. Now, consistency is very, very powerful. You know, when you look at the brand, you will feel the same everywhere you are online, right? People will remember you faster, they will trust you more. For example, if you look at the news channels, um, there is a, what is that called? Funny video, cartoon video, forgetting the exact word. Um, Cartoon video, so sorry, right? And everyone must have seen this so sorry, and they automatically know this was created by us. And so sorry, we'll talk about the ruling party and the opposition party and something very much related. That is the brand, and that is the recall you want your audience to carry. Wherever they see so sorry, oh yes, I've seen this, and this is from us, right? Or if you look at the modern brands, McDonald's, wherever you go, you will find the same setup everywhere, be it a drive-through McDonald's, be it a takeaway McDonald's, or it could be sitting in a full place restaurant. McDonald will remain McDonald anywhere across the world, right? If you go and search for Nike, Nike would always project the same image in all their stores and their ads everywhere you go. Right? You instantly recognize them because they are projecting that brand to you, and your personal brand also works exactly the same way. What you want to project. Now, what are the benefits of being consistent? One, we have seen um, it helps people instantly recognize you because they are seeing the same profile picture, they're seeing the same colors, the usernames all across the channels, be it Insta, be it YouTube, be it LinkedIn. People can identify your account in seconds, right? For example, if you're posting a science video on YouTube and someone searches for you on Instagram, they'll know it's you because the profile picture and the name matches, right? Second, it helps build the trust and the credibility. People will feel more confident following you or interacting with you when you look organized and reliable. If you do not have a consistent profile, which means different names, random pictures, you look unprofessional and you might even be seen suspicious. And in the real world, also, you might have seen this thing. You try to find your friend's profile online, you will first try to recognize by the photo. If the photo is not there, then you will go into the name, your bio, the other details to see whether this is the same person or not. But if you're projecting the right brand across all the profiles, you will see and you will find that person very professional and very trustworthy, credible, quickly you can find them. Lastly, this consistency will make your profile look very professional, right? A neat look across all the platforms gives the impression that you take your work seriously. Now, when you are out there projecting business, you don't want to be seen as casual person. You want to be seen serious person, serious about the business, right? The brands, the features, and the potential followers, they will notice you if your online presence looks very polished. Okay. Again, carrying the same message from the previous slides, use the same profile photo. Again, it has to be clear with good lighting and the friendly expression, which means smiling on all the platforms. Okay. You choose the color palette and then use the same color palette for all the posts and the banners. Again, you choose the tone of the voice that you want to use across all the channels in your brand, and you maintain that tone of voice in your captions, and you don't change that tone suddenly, right? You make it continue so that it solidifies in the your audience's mind. Okay. Now, here's one activity we could do quickly. You can pick one profile photo and one username that you will use across all your social media mockups, right, for your business. Okay. Then you can decide on two main colors that will appear in your design. It could be blue and yellow for a cheerful look, or it could be black and gold for a classic feel. Uh, Keep that handy. That will be used in your assignments as well. You don't have to do it right now, but this is one activity you will have to do as part of the assignment as well. Okay, now let's look at some of the examples of great personal brands, especially from the young creators like you. Now, why these examples are important? Because these students are not the celebrities or the adults, right? But they are people just like you who started with an idea. worked on it consistently, and eventually made something memorable online. Okay, let's look at the example Kiara. She's 13, and you will find herself as the science explorer on YouTube. Okay, what she is doing is she's posting easy, fun, and safe science experiments every Saturday. Okay, you remember you notice this thing, what she is doing, and there is a consistency in when that content is going to come every Saturday. And what's her style? She will always use the bright colors, a friendly voice, and a clear explanation. And what's her secret? She'll always post at the same time each week and will reply to all the comments, making her audience feel connected. And what's the result? She has now over 5,000 subscribers. And she was even invited to her science school science fair as a special presenter. Yeah, consistency and projecting the personal brand gives you rewards more than just the money. Let's look at another example. Arav, who is 15 years and he goes by the Design Guru. You can find him on Insta. And what he's doing, he's sharing the short reels that tells you the design tricks and showcases his own art as well. What's his style? He use the pastel tones, he will use the modern fonts and very upbeat background music. What's his secret? Every post will follow the same look and feel. So his feed will always look professional. And what's the result? The small businesses are now hiring him to design the posters and the social media ads. That is how you project your image out to the world. Let's look at the text-based content. Tanya, who is 12 years, and she goes by the book whisperer. She uses the personal blog and writes the reviews of the children's book and shares the reading tips about those books. What's her style? She will always use the warm, cozy colors with the book photos she takes herself. Okay. And what's her secret? She will always give the honest opinions and keeps her reviews short and fun. And what was the outcome? She was featured in her newsletter, school newsletter, and the authors have started sending her free books to review. Right? They've seen the value in the way she's putting out the reviews, and then the world reaches out to you seeking some help around that. Now, if you look at all these three examples, I mean, these are just three, but there are a lot of examples out there. On each of the channels, you will find some of the outstanding people who are projecting their personal brand. They are projecting consistency. They will post regularly so that their audience knows when to expect the new content. Second, they will show the creativity. Their content is unique and reflect their personal interests. Third, there is a clarity around that. Their audience instantly understand what this page is all about. Okay. So consistency, creativity, and clarity is very important on whichever channel you are going to project your personal brand. And how you can do this branding? There are several tools that are available for you to create your brand. One, Canva, I'm sure you all must know. It's a easy to use online design tool. You can create the professional looking visuals. You can create the social media posts. You can create the Facebook banners. You can create the YouTube thumbnails, posters, flyers, infographics, whatever you want. There are lots and lots of templates there. Use the template, apply the colors, fonts, and the tone that you want to use, and then your visuals, your content will be ready. Why it's great for you? Because you don't need any design experience. Any new person can go and start using Canva. Lot of templates are there. It can work on the phone and computer. It is cloud based, So whatever you do on phone and you go to the laptop, you will find the same thing retained there. Whenever you're using Canva, always decide on the brand colors that you are going to use. Choose two or three brand colors based upon what you want to project, how you want to project, and use them in all of your designs for consistency. Okay. Now, if you must have noticed, all of our presentations related to this digital entrepreneurship, our slides have a same layout in all the sections. Our logo, where it will be placed, what colors we are using, right? You can relate this to the logo. We always use orange. For example, here on the screen, you can see the table which is in orange. The font is always the same all across the slides, all across all the sessions, right? That is how we are practicing the personal branding in SS Foundation. The second tool that you can use is the Adobe Express. It's again a quick graphic design and content creation tool coming from Adobe. You can create the eye-catching ads for your products and services. You can do the photo editing. A lot of filters are available. You can create the animated post. You can create the short videos. Anything that is related to collaterals, visuals can be done in Adobe Express. It's faster and simpler. You don't need the Adobe Photoshop for this thing, has the great templates just like Canva, and it works very well with the social media ready designs. What is useful in Adobe Express is the animation feature that is available that can make your post stand out. Okay. What other tools you can use? You can use Google Sites. It's a free and easy website builder by Google. You can create a mini website to showcase your business idea. You can create the portfolio of your content and the projects. You can create a About Me page with the links to your work. You don't need any coding. Wonderful thing is this, and it can link various repositories. It could connect to Google Drive. It could connect to Google Slides, Docs, YouTube's, other channels. And this site will work both on mobile as well as desktop automatically because the designs are responsive. Whenever you're creating the sites using Google Sites, keep your site very simple, clear, and updated with your latest projects, right? Many of the people who are into the creative things, they always use this thing to um, showcase their work so that everyone knows what they are doing, what is the new thing that they have done. Anytime, anywhere needed, the site will always have the latest information. The last tool is the PFP Maker. It's a tool to create the profile pictures that look fun but also very professional. You can make the customized profile pictures with different backgrounds and effects. You can create the brand style images that will match your color themes. It will help you give a polished, consistent look to all your accounts. It's quick and easy. Just upload your photo and you can choose the style. And another alternative is the photo room. Photo room is also being used by a lot of people, especially around when you have to put out the professional picture of your physical product. For example, if you're creating the handbags, how do you create the professional looking picture of the handbag? You can use tools like PFP Maker or Photo Room. So you can use the same profile picture across all the platforms for recognition. So these pictures can be created by this tool. Now, when you are using these tools, keep the safety into consideration. You should always take your parents or the guardians' permission before you are creating accounts or you are uploading the photos on such websites. Again, you use the tools only on trusted websites. Quick thing is when you look at the URL, whether it is HTTPS or it is HTTP, check that it should always be HTTPS. S stands for secured, and it gives you the assurance that you're going to a right website. Again, when you're creating, using these tools for creation of the photos or whatever you're creating, never share the personal information like the home address or the phone number. Always check with your parents and the teachers if you're in doubt. Okay. If you're using any of the public or shared computers, for example, if you're doing this in your school library or from your friend's laptop, make sure that you log out. Your security and safety is also important. You should never forget this thing. Okay. Any questions so far, Vedika, Vishakha?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So here's the assignment. What you're going to do is you have to design a mock-up of the social media profile for your digital business idea. Okay. Again, whatever we have learned about the personal branding, keep your business into mind, use those principles and create that mock-up. Okay. This is like making the first impression your audience will see when they visit your profile. Okay. What you have to do, you have to put out a profile photo. This will be the face of your brand, of your business, digital business idea. Okay. You can use a real photo. You can use a cartoon or avatar. You can use the logo for your business. Whatever you use, keep it clean and recognizable. Okay. Again, told you the tools, Canva, PFP Maker, or you can simply draw it with your hand and click the picture. Whichever tools you're using, use it. Put out that profile photo. Then the username, as we saw, it's a kind of a digital nameplate that you will carry. Okay, it should be easy to spell, short and catchy, and it should be related to your brand. For example, for a tech tips page, we saw the example RN Kid, Tech Kid RN, right? Or if it's a cake business, it could be Sweet Treats by Ananya. Try to avoid the numbers until unless it is very necessary to be kept in the usernames. You have to come up with that username. Third, you have to write a short bio. Again, the formula that I gave you about the short bio, who you are, what you do, and then fun or inspiring line around that. Keep it short, keep it clear, and keep it very interesting. For example, it could be young baker sharing easy cake recipes, making life sweeter one slice at a time. Okay. Fourth thing, what we need to
Yes.
do is, sorry, come again. Vishaka Vedika, you had a question?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Now, the fourth thing that you have to do is you have to come up with three post ideas. Okay. Imagine what those three posts could be. For each of the posts, you have to write a title, which should be short and catchy. And then you have to write a caption, which should be one or two sentences. For example, if your business is around the book reviews, the title could be Five Books That Made Me Love Reading. And the captions could be from magic castles to space adventures. Here are my top five. Or why reading before bed is magical. And the caption could be swap your phone for a book tonight and see the magic unfold. Or the title could be the book that changed my life. And the caption could be one story can inspire a thousand dreams. And like that. Okay. Now, what you need to do, you can either create this mock-up profile on a paper and take a clear picture, or you can design it digitally. You can use Canva, you can use Word, you can use PowerPoint, you can use Google Slides, whichever tool is convenient to you. But make sure all the four elements are covered into that. Profile photo, the username, the bio, and the three post ideas are visible there. Okay. How we are going to evaluate this assignment? We'll evaluate against creativity. What is the unique style you came up with? We'll evaluate against clarity, how easy it is to understand. We'll evaluate against the consistency. Are you using the same tone? Are you using the same color theme? Are you using the same vibe across all the parts? That is how we are going to do the evaluation of the assignment. Okay. Any questions? Vedika, Vishaka?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Great. Great. So your personal brand is more than just a profile picture or a username. Okay. It is the way the world is going to experience your business or you. It's your digital voice, your values, your style, and your stories. Every time you put out a post, every time you write a comment, every time you share an image, that becomes the part of your brand. And you always want to convey a consistent image rather than a random image. Okay. Now, when you build your personal brand with passion, people can feel it. When you nurture it with pride, it grows stronger. And the key is to stay authentic. Never pretend to be someone you are not, because your true self is your greatest strength. Okay. Remember, your brand is the digital handshake. It's the first impression people will have about you and your business. Make it confident, make it warm, and make it unforgettable. Okay. It's a beautiful quote by someone, but he said, "Don't be afraid to be different. Be afraid of being the same as everyone else." You know, being unique is your superpower, and the world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original you. Okay. Again, whenever you post anything online, ask yourself, does this reflect who I am and what I stand for? Even if you are reposting any of the posts, always remember, is it just for fun, or am I projecting something that aligns with me and my values and my brand? Will it help people remember me for the right reasons? And is this the consistent with the image I want to build? Okay. Now that you have learned how to create and manage your personal brand, and you will demonstrate this through your assignment, in the next module, we are going to talk about how can you express your brand through powerful words and engaging stories. In the next session, that is going to be focusing on blogging and writing skills. Okay. Your brand is your story. Let's make it worth sharing. Okay. So with that statement, we can close today's session. If you have any of the questions, you can reach out to me through WhatsApp, or you can always follow us on LinkedIn. This QR code will take you to our LinkedIn page, where we keep on posting the content that rhymes and projects our image. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any
Yes,
questions,
sir.
Vedika, Vishaka?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. If no questions, wonderful. Let's close this session and we'll see you tomorrow with the next session.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.